found also in others who came here, others who shared with the people of Sheffield. So if we step back into the 18th century, having talked about James Montgomery, we see the likes of Mary Ann Rawson or Rebecca and Mary Brady, who are struggling and fighting for not only an end to the slave trade, but an end to child labour, better rights for women. And this multitude of action is so important and so much part of the journey to justice struggle, that injustice in any one area, for any one group, is an injustice for all, everywhere. And we can't be choosing in saying that I'm only going to fight for one cause, although we may have a cause that is particularly close to our hearts. But injustice needs to be fought, because if not, as we're seeing in our world around us at the moment, the forces of reaction, the forces of power, wish to cling to that power, wish to renege on promises, wish to retake the things which have become part of our everyday society. But we see ordinary people standing up and fighting back. Whether those ordinary people were part of organisations and groups such as the anti-apartheid movement, again another group with a strong base in Sheffield, who were out in the streets in the 60s, but particularly the 70s and 80s, campaigning, protesting, marching to try and bring about change. And as Paul Blomfield himself said in a recent interview, we weren't the ones who brought about change, but we were there to support those in South Africa who were bringing about the change. We were there to explain and talk about that to the people of Sheffield. And often those campaigns involved just 2 or 3 people standing outside City Hall, standing outside the Town Hall or the Cathedral. But the campaign brought about change, and we feel very much within Journey to Justice that no matter how small or how big a group, change can come if ordinary people take action and organise. The anti-apartheid movement was one such group, but we also see similar actions within the Sheffield Asian Youth Movement. Again, speaking up for the campaigning needs of young people, particularly from South Asian backgrounds. So in the 1970s and 1980s, as in the tradition of the past, protesting through Sheffield, whether from K-Bone's Corner all the way through Wicker into the town centre. And we see that being resonated from that previous generation of the likes of James Montgomery and Joseph Gale, the ordinary people of Sheffield sending petitions to Parliament for parliamentary reform, for better conditions for the workers. So it's when ordinary people take action that things are changed throughout society. And again, the Asian Youth Movement linking up across the broader spectrum of activism in the 1980s, so campaigns to support the Palestinian cause, looking at events in Ireland, having dialogue and debate within and between communities begins to bring about a change in the question of how should we be policed, how should communities look at each other. And maybe what happened towards the end of the 80s into the 90s is that that campaign was overturned as other events took over, be it the Salman Rushdie affair, whether later on with 9/11 and subsequently. But we still see that there are those within the South Asian community and others in Sheffield who are willing to raise those issues about what happens within and between communities. And we should never be afraid to speak up for what we believe to be right. And those values of what are right are again discussed and debated within Journey to Justice. So we try to look at not only the issues of the past, but look at what's happening today. So the exhibition that's currently based in Bristol also tells a story of Bristol organisations and groups today. And we in Sheffield have many groups involved in campaigns today, such as those as Sheffield Amnesty International, Assist, and again, organisations that are trying to bring about an improvement, a betterment in the lives of all and for many. And I would certainly urge you to go online, take a look. I'm very keen to see a local group starting up here that now looks at the issues, not just from the past, not just from America in the 1950s and 60s, but is looking at the current issues involving Sheffield now in the 2020s as it will be. And I would also be very keen to try and share further talks and discussions with you in looking at how we in Sheffield can bring about change and bring others into this wider community. So take a look, and at some point I will come back and share some musical experiences with you on the history of civil rights and making a difference. Is that right time?
That's great.